Have you ever walked into a meeting and instantly felt like you were out of your depth, like you really shouldn't be there? Like everybody else is confident to be there except you? What if I told you that confidence isn't a thing you're born with, it's something you build? Keep watching this video because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the exact steps that you need to take to boost your confidence, even if you've been struggling with self-doubt and lack of confidence for years. And trust me, by the end of the video, you'll feel completely different. So let's dive in. But before we do, if you're new to this video and this channel, simply click on the subscribe button. You'll get access to loads more videos on how to master your anxiety. Now, many of my clients come to me struggling with confidence. The anxiety this causes is holding them back from living a fulfilling and contented life. And they're making a major mistake in the way they think about confidence. I'll help you overcome this mistake in a minute. But first, let's talk about Joe and his fear. No, not his fear, his absolute terror of public speaking. Joe came to me because he was terrified of speaking in public, a very common anxiety, and for good reason. He had to make a presentation in front of 100 of his peers. As you will know if you've seen my video on the tribal mind, our tribal mind comes with two powerful traits that cause us trouble. The first one, the need to fit in. The need to fit in with our social groups. We have a caveman's brain that was built for operating in small groups and tribes. You needed your social groups for your very survival. Back in prehistoric times, being on your own meant if the bears, wolves, lions, or tigers didn't get you, the tribe from the next valley down certainly would. So we're hardwired to fit in with our social groups. The second trait of our tribal mind is the need to demonstrate competency. If you are coming with me on a marathon, the last person I need next to me is a bloke who's a bad shot with his spear. I'll end up in my back instead of the side of the mammoth. So I need you to be good at what you do. The combination of these two tribal mind traits, the need to fit in and the need to be competent, is what was holding Joe back and causing the fear of his forthcoming presentation. His mind was subconsciously telling him, you better do a good job here, Joe, in front of all your colleagues, or you'll be cast out. You'll be thrown out of the group. If you want to learn more about our tribal mind, watch my video on the tribal mind that you'll find on this channel. So Joe's mind is telling him, run away from the potential danger. Better to avoid the situation than make a total fool of yourself in front of your colleagues. Right? Wrong. Here's the paradox of getting confidence. The only way to get confident at something is to push through this fear and do it anyway. I call this facing your dragon. It's the only way. Let me explain. I often ask my clients, when will you be able to do the thing that you're avoiding? And here are some of the answers I typically get. When I'm confident, I'll perform better in interviews. When I'm confident, I'll be better at public speaking. When I'm confident, I'll light up the room when I walk in. When I'm confident, I'll make friends easier. When I'm confident, I'll be better at dating. The pattern is clear. I will be more successful at things that are important to me when I have confidence. But therein lies the myth of confidence. Confidence isn't a thing. If you wait for it to turn up on your doorstep, you're going to be waiting a long time before you start to enjoy your life. So how do we get confidence? Okay, most people talk about confidence as an object, something to own and possess. I often joke with my clients, if you want to get confidence, just pop down to your local supermarket. It's aisle 7, halfway down, middle shelf, next to the tomato ketchup. Now, quite rightly, they look at me in a strange way when I say things like that. but I'm saying it to make a point. It's not something that you can go and buy. It's not a thing. Confidence is a process. You must earn the right to be confident at something. Dr. Russ Harris, who I'm a big fan of, the author of The Confidence Gap, a book I'd strongly recommend you read, explains that confidence is a process. Okay, so what does he mean by that? Well, you start at position A where you're not very good at something, not feeling very confident about performing a task, like public speaking, and you want to get to B where you are confident at talking to people in public. He calls this the gap, the confidence gap. And it's a great book. It might not be the best idea to dive in at the deep end and start your presentation in front of 100,000 people at Wembley Stadium whilst live on TV on a topic you know absolutely nothing about. It's probably better to start with a small meeting at work on a topic that you're really familiar with and then build up from there to larger and larger audiences. It's a process. So if gaining confidence is a process, what is the process? Let me walk you through it right now. Okay. Step one, you need to be brave. You need to show courage to do something that's new, that you've not done before, and is outside of our comfort zone. This takes courage and bravery. Without that, it's going to hold you back. Step two, we're now into the field or the world of uncertainty and vulnerability. When we embark on something new, we're heading into uncertainty and our brains hate uncertainty. This uncertainty makes us feel vulnerable and our brains will try and keep us safe and protect us from that. We have to overcome these feelings of vulnerability to grow. Step three is competency. The more you practice at something, the better you'll get at it. Through practice, we develop competency. The great golfer Gary Player, he once was heckled by a spectator when he holed from a bunker who shouted, "That was lucky, Gary." And he came back with a great line, which was, "Do you know what, son? The more I practice, the better I get, and the luckier I get." Step four is confidence. Once we have competence, we acquire confidence. I've built up a stack of evidence that I can do something. Competence leads to confidence. When you have confidence, you enter the fifth zone, which is the comfort zone. Once we acquire that confidence, we can return to that place of comfort that we once were in. Once my clients understand this process, they stop waiting for it to arrive at their doorstep. That's a huge mistake. Don't wait for confidence to appear. You need to start doing things that are important to you, and the confidence will arrive. So now click on the part 2 video to go with this one on confidence to find out my top tips on how to become more confident.